Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys making some time out of your busy schedules to spend with me and watch the video. Always appreciate that. And guys, I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. It's been sort of brewing with me a little bit. We're going to be talking about and addressing those dudes out there that say professional fishing is not a real job, or say anytime you say something about complaining about pro fishing, or it's like, get a real job, Randy, get a real job. I'm here to tell you guys out there, the people that don't know, professional bass fishing is just as real of a job as any other job out there, and it's more difficult than 99% of the other jobs out there, because I've had both, and I'm going to go into that in today's video and sort of clarify some issues for some people out there. Also, guys, just a real quick reminder, I don't know if you saw it, but Tackle Warehouse has got a bunch of good sales on their fishing reels right now, bait cast and spinning reels. If you guys would like to take advantage of that sale, I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. If you use and bookmark that link to get your reels, that really is a good way to support the channel. The channel gets a small part of the commission on anything you buy, so much appreciated for me and my family if you guys are one of the people that are doing that. Hey guys, I'm gonna get started on this here. This is one of the things that really irritates me on the channel, as far as when I get a comment from somebody out there that says, get a real job, professional fishing is not a real job. They don't know what they're talking about if they say that. Because I'll tell you a little bit of a backstory on this. I've had real, quote, real jobs before. When I was in high school and college, I worked at a restaurant as a busboy for 5 years. On top of that, mowed grass in the summertime of the year. On top of that, I worked at a car dealership, washing cars, all at the same time, throughout the course of my career. And then when I was in college, I went to night school, and I worked 2 years full-time in an electronics plant on an assembly line. And I was putting together like the TV monitors like that. So for 2 years, for 8 hours a day, these monitors would come down this assembly line, and I'd have to adjust them and sort of set the specs on them. Got the crap shocked out of me every day from working on them, on a quote, real job. So I can tell you right now, from working in a assembly plant for 2 years and all the other jobs, those are the easiest jobs that there are out there compared. That type of working is the easiest job out there compared to professional fishing. And that's what I'm gonna get into. Here's what a lot of people don't understand about professional fishing. Let me go into why it's so tough and why it is a real job. First of all, before you become a professional an angler, prior to the days of live scope where people don't have to have the same skills as they used to, you had to work for years and years and years just to get good enough to get up to the pro level. So you may had to put in 10 years of working for nothing, spending, tons of money, perfecting your art form, perfecting your craft, just to get to the top level, to where you're actually, quote, on the pro circuit, a professional angler. Once you get there, this is what the life of a professional angler is. Okay, say for example, you're fishing on one of the top level circuits. Now, before the season even starts, you have got to get everything in line. You got to get your logistics for the traveling lined out. You got to get all your equipment lined out, your boat, motors, your tackle. You have to get your finances in line. You have to figure out how you're going to pay for that. You have to put your due diligence in and do research on the lake, scouting, whatever, before you even go to work. Then once you, quote, go to work on your job, you have to pay to go to your job. You have to actually pay to go there with no guarantee of a paycheck. So you've got this mental strain that does not come along with, quote, a real job that's guaranteed paycheck. There's no guarantee in a paycheck. And on top of that, you've got to court and you've got to maintain relationships at some point with some type of sponsors to keep you in it. So you've got the job of getting ready for fishing, and being a business person to take care of the sponsorships that allow you to fish. Now, here's where your real job starts. Once you say you've spent all this time, weeks preparing for one tournament. When you go to this tournament, for a lot of the tournaments I fished throughout the course of my career, I'd have to drive for 1,200 miles or something like that to get to the tournament site. And everything that goes along with that, the dangers of the traffic, all the staying in strange hotels, just getting there to the tournament, getting set up, getting your lodging, get everything working before you start fishing. Then, let's say you're down there, you got all this stuff in place, you've taken weeks, and you're actually at the tournament site, practice starts. Before you even start practicing, which is you're working now, you're getting everything prepped. You got your boat tackle, everything has to be geared specifically for that tournament, which takes hours and hours and hours and hours. Then you go up, you get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. You fish all day long. Doesn't matter what the weather is. It can be 105 degrees or it can be 5 degrees. You're out there all day long. Rough water a lot of times, rain, snow, anything like that. You're fishing 3 days of practice. When you come off the water after your 10 or 12 hour practice day, you come back to the room, you get everything prepared for the next day. So you're up at 3:30 in the morning, you're in bed at midnight, 11 o'clock at midnight. You repeat that every single day for a solid week. So by the time the tournament's finished at the end of the week, you've put in probably an 80-hour work week, at least, maybe more than that, with no guarantees of even getting paid for it, which a lot of times you don't. So you've got an 80-hour work week, and you've got this for 150 days. 150 days of the year, you're gone from home, you're traveling, you're up at 3:30 in the morning, you're up until 11 o'clock at night. You're spending 8 or 10 hours or 10 or 12 hours a day working, and your work doesn't stop. It's not like in a quote real job where you go to work and then you get off work and you can do whatever. You have to go back and get prepared for the next day. You don't have time. You get time to eat for 15 minutes and you jump in bed after you call home or something like that. And this goes on and on and on. And then after you get done from the tournament, you have to do this over for the next 8 or 9 different tournaments that you got coming up, on top of maintaining your sponsorship relationship. So not only that, on top of the sponsorship relationships, you have to maintain your social media presence. So when you're off the water, after you get done being out in the water all day long, you're on social media for a couple hours a night, you're talking to your sponsors, repeat over and over and over again. And then throughout the entire thing, you have this anxiety hanging over your head about, okay, am I going to do good enough to make the championship? If I don't make the championship, am I going to lose a sponsor? You know, the entry fees for next year are due next month. How am I going to cough up $25,000 in deposits? This is constantly going on in your mind. Guys, I'm telling you right now, professional fishing is the hardest job you will ever have in your life. And that's coming from somebody that has worked real jobs, other buddies of mine that have worked, quote, real jobs. Until you've done it, and until you put in the dirt time of decades of putting in this many hours with no guarantees to get paid, no safety net, no retirement, no pension, it takes a special breed of person out there. And I can tell you right now, guys, I don't care how much I don't like or don't agree with any other pro out there. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for any professional angler that has done it for decades, because I know what it takes. I know how hard it is. I know the anxiety and the stress and the pressure it puts on you and how much work it is. Because when you're a professional angler, you have to be disciplined enough to make yourself do that stuff. You don't have a boss telling you what to do. You have to make yourself get out of bed at 3:30 in the morning if you don't feel good. You have to get up at 3:30 in the morning if you're tired as hell. You can't come home, you can't get off the water early and go take a nap. You don't have any of that luxury. So for you dudes out there that say professional fishing is not a real job, you don't know what you're talking about, because I mean, you've never been there. Any job out there, you can say, well, you know, it doesn't, you know, if I'm out there working outside, you know, on an electric line and, you know, 10-degree weather, you know, that's a real job. Well, try getting out there when it's 15 degrees and guiding all day, or 15 degrees and you have to practice all day with the wind blowing and the 3-foot waves splashing you up in the face. It is just as hard. It's as hard of a physical job, emotional and mental, as any job out there. So like I said, all you guys out there that say, you know, get a real job, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you right now, because I've been on both ends of the spectrum. And I can tell you, my quote, real jobs that I had are the most cushy, easiest things I've ever done in my life for work compared to being a pro fisherman. So anyway, just wanted to clarify that, guys. We'll talk later. See you.